Tom Weiskopf won 16 PGA Tours, 1 European Tour, and 4 Senior PGA Tours. That's pretty amazing if you ask me. But that's not all. He's designed tons of golf courses, including some around Maine. So, let's hear from the man himself. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Ben. Nice to be here.
Yeah, nice to have you here.
Beautiful home.
Yeah, thank you.
Great views.
Definitely.
I mean, this is Montana right here.
Oh, yeah. All right, why don't we get started?
Okay.
When did you start playing golf?
I started playing golf in the summer of my 15th year, age-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents and 2 of my best friends' parents rounded the 3 of us up, and they said, "You hooligans are going to get a job this summer." So we took it up caddying, and that was the job. And then I didn't play golf previous to that. I played basketball, baseball, football, whatever, and fell in love with it, and very appreciative toward the head golf professional, because back then, Ben, Mondays the courses were always closed in the summertime. The members couldn't even play it, but the caddies could, and then the maintenance crew could catch up on maintenance. So we would go out all day Monday and play golf, and that's how I got into it.
All right, that's awesome. What made you want to play golf?
The challenge, probably the most difficult game to master, I think, but I'm prejudiced. And I like the social aspect of it, because you can play with somebody. It's kind of like skiing. You can play with somebody that's much better or not as good and still have a great time. And because of the handicap system, it's kind of like bowling in a way too. You get so many pins to your benefit if someone is that much better than you bowling, to make up the difference, to try to equalize the game that you're playing. But I think those 2 things, the social aspect of it, and then the challenge most of all.
All right, that's awesome. What were some of the funniest moments in your career?
Well, boy, there were a lot of them. Mostly on myself, just hitting bad shots at the wrong time at a tournament. But, you see all kinds of things on the golf course. I saw some very poor shots played from the tee on par 3s that would hit a tree to the right of the green, ricochet across the green, and go in the hole for a hole-in-one. So that's quite unusual. I saw people bend over to read a putt and split their pants. That's pretty funny. A little bit embarrassing too, And just some very unusual shots. People backing up. I remember on the tour when I was a professional watching, it was, I won't even mention his name, but he backed up to read a putt. There was a pond, lake to the right of the green, and he fell back, lost his, balance, and fell into the water. So there's a lot of them.
All right, if you could have played any other professional sport, what would it have been?
Well, I never was big enough, even though I'm 6'3", but when I was in high school, I was only 5'10", and I grew my 5 extra inches, my freshman year in college. So I was a late bloomer.
Wow.
But I probably liked baseball. That was something I really enjoyed. I would have liked to have played football, but our school won the state championship 2 of my 4 years in high school. So it was a good football team, and I tried out, but I just got beat up pretty bad. So I said to heck with that. Basketball, I did okay with that, but I really wasn't big enough compared. We had a good basketball team too. But the important thing, I think, is pick a sport that you like, enjoy the sport, and play it. It's all about the competition. All sports teach you 2 things. They teach you how to lose and be a gracious loser, not make mistakes for the loss. And it teaches you, humility when you're not playing well. But it also gives you some compassion about how other people feel when they don't succeed that are your teammates. So those are good things about all sports.
All right. Okay, what would you change if you could go back?
Well, we can't go back, and there's an old saying, we can't change the past. The future will always be a mystery for us. All that's important is right now. But I think I look at my past as a professional, I probably could have worked a little harder toward it. I probably should have, like your dad, he's in great shape, you know. I probably should have worked out and been a little, they're doing that now in golf. You know, they're quite physically fit guys now. I probably would have worked on my conditioning, my body, my flexibility, and I would have practiced harder.
How do you feel about modern golf?
Modern golf, it's pretty exciting right now. There's a group of really young players all around their mid-20s. You have Jordan Spieth, Jason Day, you know, it goes on and on. You have Bruce Koepka, just won the U.S. Open. He's 27, I think. There's a bunch of good young, Daniel Berger, he's just 23. Golf, I think, is healthy right now because there's some great players that are very young. So they're going to get another 15 or 20 years going forward out of their abilities. So it should be very competitive. Rory McIlroy, another great name. He's 27. So those guys can really play. They're very good at what they do.
Yeah, definitely. What is your favorite course that you have designed?
Well, I've done 66 of them all over the world. I've been in the design business for 31 years, and still my favorite is a golf course in Scotland called Loch Lomond, just outside of Glasgow, Scotland, on the west coast of Scotland. It's a parkland golf course. It's not a links golf course. It doesn't have those nasty pot bunkers and, you know, a lot of wind going for it. It has big trees, a great setting. It's on the largest landlocked lake in the British Isles, Loch Lomond. The Scottish Highlands are up above it. You know, you look at it kind of like the mountains around here. You know, they're 20, 30 miles away, and that's sensational looking country. But it just was a great setting. It had big mature trees. It had nice soft change of elevation throughout from hole to hole. And it had a great variety of wetlands and little streams, trout streams that ran through it, of course, nestled right on that beautiful big lake.
What is like all-time just craziest experience you've had?
All-time craziest experience. Oh boy, there's been a lot of them, but you know, probably my most memorable is when I won the British Open in 1973. And I had my chances in previous years to win majors like the Masters. I finished second 4 times there, finished second in the U.S. Open. And I just, you know, was at a perfect time in my life where I was playing very well. Lost my father early in the year. He was a great inspiration for that year. And then I just got on a roll there, Ben, where I was so confident about what I could do. And I stayed in that moment for 4 rounds. I was never tied. I led after the first, second, third, and of course the last round too. But that was crazy because it was so emotional. That's what we all try to do in that sport, is to win at least one major, because then you're part of history if you can do that.
Definitely. All right. Last question.
Okay.
Can you beat me in a driving competition? Just right over there?
Well, you know, if you don't get too much of a distance benefit, I might be able to. I guess we'd have to find out.
Bring him out. We might not come back. Oh, that's pretty close.
Darn close. That's going to be a tough one to beat. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm afraid we gotta go again.
Really? Let the club do the work.
Unfortunate tree.
Let me try your club. Can I?
All right.
All right. And make it happen this time, Ben.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
just
money.
missed that.
Thank you for watching. Interview with Tom went great, and it was really fun. Super nice guy. And I'll put a clip at the end of all the really good things he said that will help if you want to learn how to play golf. Thanks for watching. One more thing. My dad and I were talking about it. He thinks that we tied because my first real shot that wasn't a practice shot was really close, but his was too. So we were just calling it a tie. Thanks for watching.
The difference between that swing and your first one is you were really on balance. You know, you were right there. You know, you had a good swing. It was like the tempo was 1-2. The first time you were a little nervous, I'll bet, and your swing was a little fast, and it was like 1-2. So the contact was so important and solid. That's why you hit that one really well. See, the nice thing about golf too, you always have another shot.
True.
So on the practice tee, you know, so if I kind of look at what I've done previously, I just got a little bit quick from the top and went to the left of my target. So I'm going to slow down. Who can hit it the furthest? But you know, let me say this. It's not always how far you can hit it. It's how straight you can hit it.
Yep.
That's the important thing.
That's what we're going for here.
Yeah. Oh.